Hello, period 4. Today, we're going to solve more percent problems, but instead of using proportions and using cross products, now we're going to use equations to show you there's more than one way to solve these. The day of your test, you will have to read the directions. Some of them will have solve them using proportions. On the next section, it'll say solve using equations. You have to know how to do both, okay? They're both standards. Okay, some things to remember. When you see a percent, you're going to immediately turn that percent into a decimal. Remember, to change a percent into a decimal, we move the decimal twice to the left, okay? You should know this already, but of means multiply, is means equal. And if you say, or if you see something that says what number, we're going to throw a variable, okay? And then the other thing, if it says what percent, you need to write in percent. You will have to move the decimal in this problem, okay? So there are some things that you have to remember. Some of those you already know. When you see a percent, you're going to move the decimal immediately, okay, into a decimal. Of means multiply, is means equal, what number you throw your variable, and what percent you're going to write in percent, okay? Okay, write an equation and solve. It says 90%, okay? As soon as you see a percent, what do? You're going to immediately turn it into a decimal. 90% as a decimal is 0.9. You move the decimal twice to the left, 0.9 or 0.90, okay? Of means multiply. What number? As soon as you see what number, that's where you throw your variable. Is means equals 45. Okay, so 90%, 0.9, of means multiplication. What number you throw your variable, and I don't want to throw an X because I've got my time sign there. Is means equal and 45. Okay, so another way we could write this is just 0.9 n equals 45. Okay. How do you solve for your n? Because you're trying to figure out the n. You're going to do the inverse of multiplying by 0.9, so you're going to divide both sides by 0.9. It doesn't matter how you write this one. Okay, so n equals, you may use your calculator, 45 divided by 0.9 is 50. So n is 50. Okay. Let's look at the next one. It says what number? That's where we're going to throw our variable. Just start using n for number for right now. Is equal 40%. What do we do with percentages? Immediately turn them into a decimal. 40 hundredths is 0.4 or 0.40. Of means multiply, 60. This one, there's really nothing to solve. You just need to do 0.4 times 60, and that gives you 24. Okay. What percent? This one you need to pay close attention to. It says what percent. If you come back up here, when it says what percent, we write in percent, and we're going to have to move the decimal eventually. So what percent, we're going to write it like this. Of 20. Of means multiply. So we're going to multiply it by 20. Is equal 17. Okay, another way to write this would be like this. It looks a little funky because that percent sign is in there, but we're going to keep it looking funky to remind us that we have to do some stuff at the end. Instead of multiplying by 20, we're going to divide by 20. That gets rid of the 20, and I still have some percent. 17 divided by 20 in your calculator gives us 0.85. Now it says what percent. This right now is a decimal. How do you go from a decimal to a percent? You move it twice to the right. So N is 85%. Okay. Okay, now I would like for you to try. Why don't you try the next two and then unpause, and then we'll do the same with the bottom two, okay? But let's not do 4 of them wrong. Let's just do the first two, unpause, check, and then we'll go to the next two. Okay, what number, throw it in, is equal, change your percentage into a decimal, 0.8 or 0.80, of means multiply, 120. Nothing to solve. You can just put this in your calculator. So 0.8 times 120, you should have got 96. Okay, and the second one, 40%. As soon as you see a percent, change it into a decimal of some number. What number? Is 2. Okay, we want to solve for n. So instead of multiplying by 0.4, we're going to divide by 0.4 on both sides. 2 divided by 0.4. You should have got 5. Okay? Alrighty, now pause and try the next two. Let's see how you do. 72 means equals what percent? Hopefully you wrote it like that. Of means multiply, 36. We're going to divide both sides to get that in percent by itself. 72 divided by 36 is 2. Now that's not a percent. 2 wholes is what percent? 200%. Okay. 62.5%. As soon as you see a percent, you immediately change it into a decimal. 0.625 of means multiply, is means equal, what number? Throw our variable. So we're just doing 0.625 times 40 in our calculator, and you get 25. Okay, and then we have 2 word problems. A school raised 150% of its fundraising goal. 150% as a decimal would look like 1.5 times, because it says of its fundraising goal, the school raised $6,000. What was the goal? So 150% of its fundraising goal, we don't know the goal, so that's where we'll throw our variable. We do know they raised $6,000. So 150% of some number is 6,000, okay? So to solve for n, we're going to do the inverse and divide both sides by 1.5 to get that in by itself. So the goal, 6,000 divided by 1.5, the goal was $4,000. They went over their goal, which was why they got 150% of their goal. They went over it. They met it. Okay. Alrighty, and then the last one. AJ was assigned 15 math problems last night. He completed 40% of these while in class. Okay, so how many does he have left? So he completed 40%. Should change that into a decimal automatically. He was assigned 15, so he completed 40% of the 15. So 0.4 times 15. When you do 0.4 times 15, you get 6, meaning 6 are done, right? He completed 40% of them. How many does he have left to do? Well, he was assigned 15. 40% of them is 6, so he has 9 left to complete. Okay. Alrighty, period 4. Double check in Canvas, see if there's